Hey, help support the show by joining the Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. Also hit that like button to subscribe if you want more Cavs-focused content.
This was an interesting one for sure. The Cavs start off this game. Miami looks like they're starting off hot. Then the Cavs go down 9 points, almost 10 points early in the game. Cavs make a run, and then the Cavalanche happens in the early second. Cavs go up 20 for about most of the game. So from the second quarter to about the late third quarter, Cavs go up 20. Miami makes a bit of a run at the end of the third, cuts it down to 13, and then they really start making a run by the midpoint of the fourth quarter to bring this thing within a couple of scores. And I think because this game happened that way, there are going to be some Cavs fans who might poo-poo on this kind of victory. I would like to remind folks that winning in the playoffs is very difficult. Winning games in the NBA, period, is very difficult. The Miami Heat, despite their record not being great, are in the playoff and in the play-in because they've been playing really good basketball lately, right? Like they're much better than their record says. And, we saw some of that play-in magic tonight where Davion Mitchell was making all kind of shots down the stretch. It's not great that the Cavs could not maintain the 19-point lead until the end of the game, right? And they only won by 9 points. But what you did see was the Cavs go through their first bit of adversity in this playoff where things just weren't going their way, right? Davion Mitchell's making all kind of shots. Tyler Hero's getting off crazy. And you can feel it that there's a sense of, oh my God, are we about to blow this? Are we about to choke this game? And what I like that I saw out this Cavs team is that they recognized that moment, they saw that moment, and they realized what they needed to do was make some big shots. And that's what they did, especially Donovan Mitchell down the stretch. My bad, y'all. But Donovan Mitchell down the stretch was fantastic in this game, made some big time plays. And when the Cavs needed to make the big plays to turn the tide of the game, they made those big plays to turn the tide of the game. And I think that's the most important thing that you saw here, right? What does this Cavs team look like in a close playoff environment? Do they respond to the pressure? Do they make the right basketball decisions when the time gets tough? And that's what they did. And I think they should be commended and respected for doing that. Clearly, you don't want to have a lead be blown in the playoffs, but shit happens all the time in the NBA. There's a couple of things I think we learned about what the Cavs can and cannot get away with, especially on the defensive end in this matchup versus the Miami Heat. The first thing that comes to mind is Jarrett Allen cannot be on the perimeter trying to guard Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero has timed him up. It looked like Jimmy Butler got hurt. Well, hopefully that's not the case. I'm recording this while also watching the Golden State Houston game. But Jarrett Allen got switched onto the perimeter to guard Tyler Hero a ton in this game. And that was a massive problem. I don't know what Jarrett Allen's plus minus was. It was -1. That makes sense because Tyler Hero's going at him almost exclusively in this one. And I just don't think we can get away with it. Jarrett Allen, not going to be able to do it in the playoffs. Not going to be able to switch on the perimeter. It's too much of a weakness. And I think teams attack that more than they attack Darius. I thought when they tried to attack Darius, it didn't really work that often. But attacking Jarrett on those switches on the perimeter, I think that's something you got to take away from these teams, especially in the one big lineup. So you got to figure that out if you're Kenny Atkinson, because you just can't let Jarrett out there. Another thing I don't think we should continue to do is play Isaac and Dean at the same time. If you want to stagger their minutes so they're playing separately, I'm fine with that. But playing both these guys at the same time, I don't think is a great idea going forward because it's just too much. It's too much. It's making it so that whatever lineup out there lacks way too much playmaking, and that creates a void on offense where you just get Darius or Donovan Mitchell jacking up a bunch of bad shots. So I don't love those lineups when Dean and Isaac are out there at the same time, but maybe Dean might become useful in the one big lineup when you have Jared out there, so that Jared doesn't have to switch or worry about the switch, so you have another big out there. So maybe that's how you can use Dean. Isaac could be something that you can use if you're worried about teams attacking Darius Garland. Give him a break from all of that. There's a number of counters you can throw using those two. I just don't think you should be playing them at the same time in the same lineup, especially when Jared Allen is out there. I don't think that's been a very successful lineup for this basketball team. So Jared, can't have him out on the perimeter. Got to hide him a little bit more as far as what his capabilities are defensively. Another thing I don't love about this game is that you had a real opportunity to demoralize Miami in the third quarter, and now you're sending them back to Miami with a little bit of hope. Now the onus is going to be on the Cavs to destroy that hope in game 3, because for about 2-3 quarters, you could feel it. Miami was this close away from being like, we can't beat them. Right. But you let them in, you gave them a little hope. And now they're saying, well, if we just make a shot here, get a foul call here, we're going to take advantage of Jared more often. That's kind of the stuff that I think you kind of open the door for Miami. If you're keeping up with the Jimmy Butler thing, he just went to the back, so he might actually be injured. I'll try to update y'all as this video is going on. And obviously, if you want to just check on your phone, you can just check on your phone. But let's flip the things I thought the Cavs did really good against this Miami team, right? I think Davion going to be good to get about 15, 18. I thought he had a pretty good game for himself, made 2 threes, not really tripping that he got 18. Same thing with like Haywood Highsmith. He just made a bunch of threes. He went 5 or 6 today. Like, okay, I don't think that's going to happen every night. But I love what happened with Bam Adebayo for the Cavs. They really just took him completely out this game. Now, I don't know. It felt like the Heat took Bam out the game as well for whatever reason. He played 42 minutes in this game. He was the highest minute getter for the Miami Heat. I did not feel any of those minutes while Bam was out there. He was not very useful. Ended the game with 10 and 14, which is well below what you expect from Bam offensively in the very least. And went 3 of 9 from the floor, and then shot 5 threes of those 9 shots. So really didn't attack the paint. I wonder if that's because of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Their presence there makes them not want to take those shots. There were multiple times where Bam could have tried to get a shot off on Evan, right, where he had a one-on-one, and he really just went away from it. Like, they weren't trying to test Evan Mobley. That tells you the respect that he has. I wonder if they're going to try to test that in game 3 at home. But it was nice to see that you were able to put the clamps in on Bam. The Tyler Hero thing, he got 33 today. They did a good job defensively on him in the first quarter, but in that second quarter, he really got going, and that's when they started taking advantage of those Jared Allen switches. So didn't love that you allowed Tyler to get going there, right? For the Cavs, thought Evan Mobley played really well in this game. 3 of 6 from 3, 20 points, 7 of 10 from the floor. Really nice game from Evan. Jared was not great in this game. Defensively, he was being put in a rough spot, having to guard Tyler Hero. Offensively, he wasn't super effective. He got 8 rebounds and 9 points, so he wasn't completely useless, but we haven't seen Jared put his imprint on this series yet, and I'm hopeful that he will in one of these games in Miami. Darius, I thought, was really good in the first half. Really didn't see much of him in the second half. He was limping too for a good chunk of the fourth quarter, so hopefully Darius is healthy. But we'll see what happens with him. He had 21 and 9, so very productive day. And Donovan Mitchell was actually the exact opposite of Darius, right? Darius carried this team offensively in the first and second quarter, him and Evan Mobley. Donovan Mitchell carried this team in the fourth quarter. 30 points, 10 of 21 from the floor. It was a weird night for Donovan because, like, his three ball was dropping. He was 7 of 10 from three, 70% from three. But everything else he shot was not. It was the exact opposite of what happened in game one. Because game one, he was like 11 of 10 or 10 of 11 from just 2-point, and then like 1 of 9 from three. Today, he's 7 of 10 from three, and 10 of 21 from the floor total, which means what? He took 10 of those shots. So it's what, 11, only 3. So he was what, 3 of 11 from 2-point, like on layups and shit. That's not usual for Donovan, but I expect that to correct itself. Also had 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. Max Strus was pretty good, had 2 steals and 6 assists on top of 14 points. DeAndre Hunter had him a nice little coming out party in the second quarter of this game, had 12 points. And then Sam Merrill was pretty solid in the second quarter of this game, too, had a steal and 6 points. So overall, if you don't overthink how the Cavs got to 2-0, you should be pretty happy with where the Cavs are, right? They were able to get these 2 wins here. They withstood the Tyler Hero 30-point game. They also withstood a rare 5 of 6 3-point shooting performance from Haywood Highsmith. And they were able to eat a pretty intense charge. And I think this demonstrates a little bit of a difference. And I think some Cavs fans might not be able to see this right now because they might be frustrated that they didn't hold on to the big lead that they had. But think about the 2023 team, the 2024 team, right? The teams from the last 2 years. Do you think that those teams would have responded to what happened to this Cavs team today in a way that would have resulted in a victory? Right? Do you think the 2022-23 Cavs team is able to compose themselves in the middle of whatever was going on in the fourth quarter and say, okay, we're just going to get shots. Donovan's going to get the ball. We're going to make some big shots, and we're going to play some defense, get some turnovers, and end this game? Do you think they were able to do that last year? That's the difference. Shit is going to happen to you in the NBA, especially in the playoffs. Stuff's going to come up. There's no doubt about it. It happens for everybody. It's going to happen to Boston. It's going to happen to Oklahoma City, and it happened to you today. Stuff's going to happen. Guys are going to start making shots. Haywood Highsmith gets hot, right, out of nowhere. Same thing with, like, Nikola Jovic, like, starts getting buckets out of nowhere. Davion Mitchell starts making threes. Stuff's going to happen in the NBA. Leads are going to evaporate. It's not that you maintain the lead that matters. It's that you are able to stop the bleeding before it becomes catastrophic. And that's what the Cavs demonstrated. Okay, shit happened. We bleeding. We stopped the damage before it got catastrophic, and we left the game with a 9-point lead. That's all that matters, right? Would it have felt better if we would have won by 40? Hell yeah, brother, it would have felt better, right? Would it have been better if we wouldn't have given Miami any reason to be excited about Game 3? Hell yeah, brother, it would have been better. But the reality is that's not the way the dice rolled for the Cavs today. The Miami Heat did make one hell of a comeback. You had to withstand it. And by withstanding it, you prove something that we did not see from this Cavs team in year past, which is, hey, when shit gets sweaty, when it gets a little nerve-wracking, are we going to do what Detroit did in Game 1 versus the New York Knicks and fold completely? Or are we going to take a breath, call timeout? All right, we're going to get a 3 from Donovan, and they're going to come back. And look, for a while, they were going back and forth with us, shot for shot, band for band. And it was nerve-wracking as hell because you're thinking it's 4 minutes left. We might lose this game. And they're going back and forth. But eventually, Cavs got the stops they needed on defense, got the turnovers, made the foul shots they needed to make, and ended the game. That is the difference between this year and last year, and this year and the last 2 years. That's important. That's how you take care of business. I get it. You're not happy. They didn't win this one by 1 million. Shit happens. Gotta figure out a way to close it and stop the bleeding. Because guess what? Boston's gonna have stuff that happens to them. And they're gonna blow some leads. But you know what Boston knows how to do? Stop the bleeding. Sometimes, unless they playing us. Right? That's gonna matter. That's important. And also, I think it's cool, or it's good that this Cavs team, got reacclimated to the pressure of a close playoff game. So if they're in a close situation in game 3 on the road, it's not new to them. They're familiar to it. All in all, love that the Cavs are up 2-0. We'll see how they handle business going into game 3. That's going to make or break everything, right? If the Cavs go into game 3, they win game 3. They're up 3 on this series. Nobody's going to care that they were mad that the Cavs blew a 20-point lead in game 2. Nobody's going to care. So that's what you got to do. Go win game 3. Go up 3-0. That's what's up for the Cavs now. And try to end this series as soon as possible, because you're seeing what the toll of this basketball can do to somebody's body. You want to make sure you keep guys healthy. But that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.